Question 1. Write 5/20ths in simplest form. We find the biggest number that can divide into the top and the bottom, known as the highest common factor, and we divide it into the top and bottom and get an answer. So 5/20, can we find the biggest number that can go into 5 and 20? That number would be 5, so we're going to divide the top by 5 and the bottom by 5. 5 divided by 5 on the top makes 1, and 20 divided by 5 on the bottom gives us 4. Final answer, 1/4. Question 2. Convert 11/2 into a mixed numeral. We divide the bottom into the top, and this amount becomes the front number of our mixed numeral. So 2 divided into 11, 2 goes into 11 5 times, but it has a remainder. The remainder becomes the top number of our fraction in our mixed numeral. So 2 goes into 11 5 times with 1 remainder. So that remainder goes on the top of the fraction part, and then the bottom stays the same. The bottom of our original fraction was a 2, so that stays the same in our mixed numeral. Bottom stays the same. So 11/2 has become 5.5. Question 3. Convert 2 2/3 into an improper fraction. Step 1 is to multiply the front number by the bottom. So 2 times 3 is 6 so far. And then we'll add the top number, and this becomes the top of our new improper fraction. So we'll go 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8, and we'll make that the top number of our new improper fraction on the right hand side there. So 2 times 3 became 6, we plussed the 2 to make 8, and that became our top number. The bottom number stays the same. In our mixed numeral we had a 3 on the bottom of the fraction part, and that stays the same here, so the improper fraction has a bottom of 3 as well. So our final improper fraction from 2 2/3, we get 8/3. Question 4. Write 6/18 or 6/18 in simplest form. We're looking to find the biggest number that can divide into the top and the bottom, known as the highest common factor. and then we're going to divide that number into the top and bottom. So we've got 6 over 18. Can you spot the biggest number that can go into 6 and 18? That would be 6. So 6 divided by 6 on the top gives us 1, and 18 divided by 6 on the bottom gives us 3. So 6 over 18 simplifies down to be 1 over 3, or 1/3. Question 5. Simplify 1/4 plus 3/4, leaving your answer as a whole number. Add across the top. 1/4 plus 3/4. If we add across the top, we get 4 on the top. And we'll keep the bottoms the same. And we had 4 on the bottom of those two fractions, so that can stay the same. 1/4 plus 3/4 ends up being 4/4. And if we simplify that, 4 divided by 4 goes once. Question 6. Simplify 6/7 minus 2/7, or 6 over 7 minus 2 over 7. We subtract across the top, which will give us 4, and we'll keep the bottom the same. Becomes 7. So 6 over 7 minus 2 over 7 becomes 4 over 7. We'll look to simplify if possible, but we can't simplify 4/7 anymore any further. You could type it into your calculator and double check, but you could look for a number that divides into 4 and 7, but the only number that works is 1, which doesn't help much. So our final answer is 4/7, or 4 over 7. Question 7. Give the simplest answer to 3/8 minus 1/8, or 3 over 8 minus 1 over 8. Subtract across the top. 3 minus 1 is 2 across the top, and keep the bottoms the same. So we get 2 over 8, or 2/8 there. We will look to simplify. Can we find a number that divides into 2 and 8? Yes, we can divide 2 into 2 and 8 on the top. 2 divided by 2 goes once, and 8 divided by 2 for the bottom, or denominator. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that whole subtracted fraction question ends up giving us an answer of 1/4, or 1 over 4. Question 8. Find the value of 1/2 times 3/4, or 1 over 2 times 3 over 4. With multiplying fractions, we multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom, and we look to simplify if we can. In this case, we can't simplify down any further. 1 times 3 makes the top of 3, 2 times 4 makes the bottom of 8, and that's our answer for multiplying those two fractions. Question 9. Find the value of 2/3 times 3/5 in simplest terms. 2 over 3 times 3 over 5. We'll multiply across the top, gives us 6. Multiply across the bottom, gives us 15, and we'll look to simplify. Can you spot something, some number that goes into 6 and 15? And I think 3 goes into both, so 6 divided by 3 gives us 2 for the top number, and 15 divided by 3 gives us 5 for our bottom number, or denominator. So our final answer there ends up being 2/5. We multiplied across the top, multiplied across the bottom, and we look to simplify. At that simplifying step, you could chuck it into your calculator and see if it gives you, press equals and see if it gives you a simpler answer. But I guess the point here is to do these without your calculator, if you can. Question 10. Simplify 1/5 divided by 2/3, leaving your answer as a simple fraction. Okay, when we divide by fractions, we turn the second fraction upside down, then we multiply. So here we have 1/5 divided by 2/3 becomes 1/5 multiplied by 2/3 turned upside down, which is 3 on 2. Fancy rule, but it's pretty cool, I reckon. So then we just multiply across the top and across the bottom and see if we can simplify, but we can't. So once we turn that second fraction upside down, the whole thing becomes a multiplying of fractions type rule, where we use those rules of multiplying across the top and across the bottom, then looking to simplify.